There are plenty of choices in the mid-sized pickup truck market these days. I'm Tom Voelk for the Seattle International Auto Show, and this is the new 2023 Chevy Colorado. It gets stylish sheet metal, a different cabin, updated powertrains, and a number of new models to better compete. It's not all new. These changes ride on the same architecture as the outgoing Colorado, but that's okay. The platform has been a strong one.
There's a lot of chatter about how expensive vehicles are these days. The average transaction price is somewhere in the neighborhood of the high $40,000 range. Colorado is somewhat affordable. A base rear drive model begins at around $30,000, and that's with shipping. This is an off-road oriented Trail Boss model. Four-wheel drive is standard. Lightly optioned, this one MSRPs for just over $41,000.
In addition to the 2-inch lift and rugged trim, the Boss adds a G80 limited slip differential, a wider track by some 3 inches, and a 4-wheel drive system with high and low range, plus a set-and-forget automatic mode. The off-road suspension gets a smidge more travel and twin-tube dampers. It's independent in front. In back, there's a solid axle with classic leaf spring setup. Pickups are all about buying the tool that you need. For now at least, Colorado offers just one cab size and a 5-foot bed. GM says it's been the best-selling configuration by far, and sticking with this setup keeps costs down.
Back here, Colorado's off to a good start with a dampened tailgate. Also, it's lockable with the remote.
Colorado doesn't get the slick multi-purpose tailgate found on Silverado, but for stashing gloves and small stuff, this is better than nothing. There's the usual slots to use boards to reconfigure the bed. These could build a platform to store tools under a load of plywood or sheetrock. Use this to lock the tailgate into a support. So hauling full-size material isn't a problem. Trail Boss and the Z71's payload is rated at just under 1,600 pounds or 720 kilos.
One advantage to a pickup this size, you can just reach over the side and grab things. Not always easy with a full-size truck.
There's one engine size, a 2.7-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. Changes to the 2023 models include a more rigid block casting, a 30% stiffer crankshaft, and updated components to improve durability. Power output is different depending on the truck. In the base models, it makes 237 horsepower and 259 pound-feet of torque. Trail Boss is rated at 310 horses and 390 pound-feet of torque, low in the rev range for diesel-like oomph. Sadly, the diesel's been 86th. Cog swaps are done fairly smoothly with an 8-speed automatic. There's no manual transmission available. Manual shifts are done here. The gauge cluster is configurable, so off-roading information can be front and center. Drive modes include terrain, good for a kind of one-pedal driving, and off-road that softens pedal response for better throttle control. The approach and departure angles are improved on Trail Boss, and the front chin can be removed to improve approach. And there's a trailering app. This is a basic truck, but hardly stripped.
The Turbo 4, as tuned in the Trail Boss, is pretty much all the motor you need. 0 to 60 happens in 7 seconds, and just as important, 50 to 80, there's decent power. So if you're passing on 2-lane roads, you won't get white knuckles. From outside the truck, you'll definitely hear turbo whistles. Same if the windows are down. Roll them up, and it's gone. It's kind of something. Here's the other thing when it comes to the engine. This will tow 7,700 pounds. The detuned engine will only tug 3,500. So remember, buy the truck that you need.
People buy pickups to do stuff, but they're also primary transportation for many owners, so comfort is a priority.
As far as driving dynamics and ride quality go, Honda Ridgeline is best in class. It just is. But this is no slouch. On the highway, there's no micro corrections. It goes down the road straight and true. It's pretty comfortable. It's relatively quiet, not an awful lot of wind noise. And you have to remember, this is an off-road oriented suspension. It's a Trail Boss. I'd really like to drive an LT version with the regular suspension to see how it is. This is a little bit trucky, but overall, really pretty good.
Large bumps mean some chassis shimmy, not uncommon with pickups. The weighted steering makes this midsizer feel like a full-sizer.
Out here, driving a full-size pickup, there's no problem at all. But in tight urban areas, they're not a lot of fun. That's where mid-size machines really shine. They're much more relaxing to drive in the city. It's easier to park in a parking garage. Plus, you can easily see over the hood. You can see people in front of you. That's kind of an issue these days with full-size pickup trucks.
The EPA rates the fuel economy average at 19 miles per gallon on regular grade fuel. On a 400-mile camping trip, I saw 22 mpg.
All right, let's do some off-roading. This will be light off-roading. This is my favorite Forest Service road, and the Trail Boss's suspension and 32-inch tires and all the other bits should make short work of this.
Some buyers might think they need the ZR2 version with its trick spool valve shocks and standard skid plate protection, or even the Bison that competes with Ranger Raptor. But if this is your idea of off-roading, and for many it is, Trail Boss is almost like cutting butter with a chainsaw.
Off-road, a smaller pickup truck has some real advantages. It's more nimble, and this will go places that a 1500 won't.
And the Boss is affordable. Comparably equipped, it's a couple $1,000s less than Ford Ranger or Toyota Tacoma.
Trail Boss has extra suspension travel. This is not a very well-groomed road. It's kind of rough. And the suspension is not soft and floaty. It's actually kind of firm. That said, this remains in good control. It doesn't chatter over bumps much.
This has 9.5 inches of ground clearance. The water pump is electric, and that helps to keep things cool during slow, hard crawling. The cabin is an upgrade from the outgoing Colorado. Trail Boss looks a little Spartan with its black-on-black colorway. It's essentially the same as the base WT model in here. There's a lot of plastic, but nothing cheap feeling. It's solid stuff and looks the part. Door pulls have the heft of a cargo tie-down. Releases are also plastic, but solid, not hollow like most. Normally, plastic steering wheels feel cheap. This is okay. Kind of controversial, the lighting controls are on the touchscreen. This didn't bother me in the least. Most will just keep them on auto anyways. The seat fabric feels as durable as a Carhartt jacket. Since Trail Boss is more of a basic workhorse, heated seats are not available. Same with automatic climate control and a telescoping wheel. Those are available on other Colorados. GM does a deceptively good job with user interfaces. It's not overly flashy, but it's exceptionally easy to use with good response. Phone projection, or Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are wireless. Kind of surprised to find Google services at this price point. It does require a data plan. It works great.
Hey, is there a Dairy Queen nearby?
All right, there's a Dairy Queen grill and chill 3.6 miles away. Navigate to that one?
Yes, please.
Here you go. Proof of performance. Dairy Queen does the best hot fudge in the biz. In back, head, knee, and legroom are good for an average-sized adult. Again, Trail Boss is a basic truck, so if you want a folding armrest and power ports back here, move on up a grade. But the seats are comfortable, and there's space for stashing small things away. Pickup trucks are tools, and the biggest one is not always the best for the job. Remember to size up your needs and your garage, because chances are Colorado will fit inside. This Chevy is an impressive blend of value, style, and capability. It's well worth checking out at your local Chevrolet showroom. For the Seattle International Auto Show, I'm Tom Voelk.